Okay, my name is Alexstevens, and this is my micro teaching lesson presentation. This is for a ninth grade biology class, and would probably come towards the beginning of the unit that would be about genetics. So the content standards being explored in this lesson is mostly the variation of traits. So in sexual reproduction, chromosomes sometimes swap sections during the process of meiosis, also known as cell division, therefore creating new genetic combinations and thus more genetic variation. And there's also environmental factors that affect expression of traits, and hence affect the probability of occurrences of traits in a population. Thus the variation and distribution of traits observed depends on both genetic and environmental factors, and those are the content standards. But the lesson objective is the students will have a better understanding of the alleles for one trait, like shape, can be independent of the allele for the color of, say, that same body part. They will also get a better understanding of how dominant and recessive alleles will interact. So the opening activity is the students will make notes of the traits of everybody in the classroom. We'll have all the students kind of work together to identify what they believe to be dominant recessive based on the traits that everyone has. So we'll kind of like ask people, okay, what are the eye color that you have? And say we can use the board and write down a little tally for blue eyes, brown eyes, green eyes, and so forth. You do the same for hair color. If people are left or right-handed, or even ambidextrous, as uncommon as that is, you also have if they have attached or detached earlobes, the fact that if they need glasses or not, if they have double jointed thumbs or not, something I actually have double jointed thumbs myself, the skin color they may have, if they have dimples, if they're colorblind, or if they have, say, their second toe longer than their big toe. So that'd be 10 different alleles or different variation traits that the students would have that they would be able to quantify, and for that we could say, okay, for us we can say this is the dominant trait that we have. Like most people probably have brown eyes, brown hair, etc. So using that information that they gather as a class, students would then partner up and figure out and record what their hypothetical offspring's trait would look like with those two people. And they would also give their reasoning for why it would be that way. So let's say if we had one student with blue eyes, student with brown eyes, they would say that most likely their offspring would have brown eyes because the brown eyes would be dominant to the blue eyes. And they would also kind of give the reasoning for the fact that the brown eyes would be dominant, and you would probably have a chance of having an offspring with blue eyes, but it is not as likely. And so that's kind of the key things they were getting with this. So they're kind of graded on the use of using all 10 of these aspects and listing the traits that they have and their guess for what their offspring's traits would be.